where we're able to, make our voices heard, it's a huge exponential domino effect. And living the best life that we can live right now, even when seemingly everything around us is burning. Like the guy on CNN, so it's a mostly peaceful protest and a freaking inferno behind the guy. Okay.
No, not okay.
So let's do something fun tonight. Y'all want to do a Q&A maybe? And any subject is totally okay. I mean, literally, you want to talk about reptilians on planet Zulu, that's fun. I have no knowledge on that whatsoever, but we can have a conversation.
And teach each other, yeah.
In regards to that. I mean, we can talk about what do you think we can do better in Bakersfield, or what do you think the challenges are, or talk about the general election, because there's going to be an election, anything whatsoever. Let's just have a good time and have a nice conversation. What do you think?
I'm in.
Cool. Anybody?
The board meetings that you go to, there's so many boards. How do you pick which one to go to? I mean, to be effective is what I want to be.
We'll repeat the questions too.
Yeah, so she's asking, when you go and see there's so many different boards, how do you choose which one to go to? It depends on also if you have any passion or specific, because a lot of them are compartmentalized, but they usually have a general, big, city council, or where I live, it's a county commission. And so, yeah, they might be subdivided into other groups for different tasks and projects and things that are happening. But the overall meeting, they post those online. They have to post, their agenda, their meeting schedule, number one.
Okay.
They have to post their agenda for that meeting. They have to post that. It's law. It's required for them to post the agenda, what they're going to be going over on that meeting. So you can go to the website, doing simple search, and find your local, whether it's a city council, county commission, board of supervisors, whatever entity is in your area, because there's different terminology all over the place. Find out that website, find out what the meetings are, and then the agenda, and make sure you look at the agenda, what's on that agenda. Most of the time, it's like quite honestly, going to these meetings, it's boring. Maybe you see how the sausage is made, but you have to be there and be aware of what's going on, because they'll slide something in. That's why it's so important. If you've never been, to a county commission meeting, or school board meetings are the same thing.
Yeah.
They have to post, the school board of your local area has to post when their meetings are, and they have to post the agenda for that meeting and what they're going to be talking about. And so you can see that online. Some of them stream their meetings online, so you have to go there physically. I like to, be there physically when I'm home. It's better in person. And then they get to know you and see your face there all the time, and you can bring people with. So if they understand that they're being watched.
Okay.
Right? If there's people
There's people that keep showing up.
Right.
They don't seem like they listen to you at all, though.
They come across it. They don't. Right? They don't want to, but we make them listen when with, like you said, with numbers. When the whole COVID thing was going on in my town. We had a couple hundred people coming to speak at every single meeting, and they were feeling the heat and the pressure. And it took a while for them to buckle. I mean, there's sometimes it does feel like you're shooting a BB at a locomotive, right? That you're fighting against a machine that's you can't take it down because they got more money, and
you have to wear them out.
Yeah, it's an attrition thing for sure.
So I'll give you an example of wearing them out, which is one of my favorite stories. So during COVID in Orange County, California, they were going to let me backtrack, because I want to tell you a story that's connected to this. I think it'll be a very interesting story. So in 2018, in Orange County, California, there was an election, and when you went to bed, 5 out of 5 Republicans won the seat. When they woke up, all 5 Democrats had the seat. So it was the first time they tried ballot harvesting in Orange County, California. Just a coincidence that this is what happened, right? So they brought a whole bunch of ballots in the middle of the night, those 2, 3 in the morning, and the next thing you know, all the Democrats took their seats. Now, if anybody understands Orange County, California, that's a conservative county, right? So 5 Democrats take those seats in a conservative town. So, what was the reason for that? Why Orange County? Why did they do it there? Well, do we think that they were testing out ballot harvesting? The answer is no. They weren't testing out ballot harvesting because the CIA has been doing ballot harvesting in other countries for decades. They play this game to install whatever leader they want for the deep state in other countries.
That's how they did it.
I know people, literally, I know 2 people that were part of the operations, right? They regret it because they thought they were installing something good, and it turns out they were installing a deep state asset. So, they already knew that ballot harvesting worked, so why on earth would they have done it just in one county? What they were testing is the reaction of the people. And this is no exaggeration. Every single Republican that had anything, any, I guess, status whatsoever, said this. Well, we'll get him next time. So at
they
that
fought for 4
moment,
years.
the deep state knew they had the 2020 election won.
In 2018.
In 2018, that moment they already knew they had the 2020 election.
They cheated.
Yeah, but they knew it's basically, they already knew they could cheat. They were cheating forever.
That's the problem with Republicans. They don't do anything about it.
Exactly, because the Republicans don't fight back.
They get mad, but they don't.
Republicans have been MK Ultra to believe certain things, and I'll give you an example, and then we'll go back to a success that happened in Orange County. So, not to upset anybody here or anybody online, but if you watch somebody named Sean Hannity, he's a CIA asset. And what Sean Hannity does all the time is he tells you, if you're conservative, it's not dignified to protest. It's not dignified to raise your voice. It definitely don't boycott. He goes off on anybody that boycotts. All these things that we should be doing because they're proven to be extraordinarily effective, he's telling you. Now what controlled opposition does is they tell you everything you want to know until it comes to the important stuff. Fox News is a great example. I used to watch Fox News. Everybody would watch Fox News. They grab all the market share, and then who was the first to call Arizona for Biden? Fox News, with 20-some% of the vote. It's ridiculous, right? By the way, that year, President Trump had a 97-mile caravan that went through Arizona. But yet we're supposed to believe with 25 or 27% of the vote, Biden won Arizona. He didn't. Clear election manipulation. But Fox News was the first to call it because they're a controlled asset. And this is what people don't understand.
They don't know their enemy.
Because they do so many good things, give so much good information, they seem to always be on the right side, except when they're not. And that's the game of controlled opposition. So, what happens is, those people who've been watching for decades have always been telling us, just stand down, don't worry. Even your churches. Many people don't know this, but the word meek is completely manipulated. We're taught that meek means docile, meek means patient, meek means relaxed, don't stand up, everything's going to be fine. That's not, if you go read the origins of meek, meek means stand up and be counted. Meek means fight for somebody else that can't fight for themselves. That's the true meaning of meek. So when you read Matthew 5:5 and you hear the meek shall inherit the earth, they're not talking about the people that do nothing. They're talking about the people that do something. Isn't that interesting? Why would the churches manipulate that? Because that's how they control us, right? They got to get that 10% tithing, so they'll manipulate us to believe that meek is just like, okay, it'll happen. It's not there. And everybody, I would say, anybody watching here or online, don't trust me. Go look up, put the origins of meek. You're probably not going to find much on Google, but use alternative search engines. You'll be blown away what that means. So, and this is not a Bible discussion, but I'll just let you know that Moses, who traveled through the desert for 40 years, many times was called meek. Somebody that travels through the desert for 40 years meek, not according to the definition we know, right? And Jesus called himself meek. Clearly Jesus was powerful. Clearly Jesus wasn't meek. And I'm sure he wasn't meek when he was flipping over tables either. right? So these are the manipulations that we have to deal with in the conservative movement, right? So this is why I would not look to any leader. Only reason why I trust President Trump is because he's taking down the bad guys,
Yeah. That's
right?
his job.
But doing it, not saying it, he's doing it. Not like the rhinos say it and they don't do it. It's called the Lindsey Graham effect, right? They have big, huge voices and they do nothing. They do absolutely nothing. So President Trump, in my opinion, has done a lot the first 4 years, and I believe if we can get him in, he's going to do a heck of a lot more. I mean, like arrests and so on and so forth. He just said that. So back to Orange County, I didn't forget this, but it all ties together. So what happened in 2020? Yeah, one was 21. So what happened is, I find it to be very interesting. The Orange County, of all places, were going to pass a vaccine passport. Now, that's 5 Democrats, so there we go, right? So they went to go pass a vaccine passport. Brian Isley, a friend of ours, and Lee Dundas organized and got 2,500 people to show up at the Board of Supervisors.
Wow.
2,500 people.
Nice.
1,400 signed up to speak.
What do they do with that?
And they all were told to do what we're trying to teach today. Have a singular message. Not multiple messages, have a singular message. After they got through the first 700 speakers, they wore down the Board of Supervisors, and the Board of Supervisors pulled it off, and they said, we're going to table this. It never, ever came back. Those people that showed up is why they don't have vaccine passports in Orange County today. Now, why is that so powerful? And this is what I really want you to consider. Do you think the 5 Democrats on that Board of Supervisors were paid off working for the deep state cabal? Clearly they were. Do you think they knew the election was stolen? Of course they did, right? So the deep state cabal either has something on them or they're paying them off. Probably both in many cases. We'll reward you if you keep your mouth shut, but hey, if you say something, we've got this on you. And it's usually pedophile. Pedophilia is what it is. So this is what I want you to consider. This is how we have to understand how strong we the people are. And we're just not getting it yet. But if with this story, it just resonates with one person watching or one person here. This is why it's so powerful.